Anybody that knows me will tell you that I'm probably the most ordinary person that you're ever going to meet. But this is no ordinary car. Welcome back, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us for another episode of The Wastegate. Today, I have the pleasure of doing a top line review with my good friend, Eric. Come on into the screen, Eric. I want to introduce you to the Wastegate family. Appreciate you joining us, man.
Good to see you again, man.
Yep, my pleasure. So today, Eric is giving us the opportunity to look at his beautiful, is that graphite blue metallic?
Graphite blue metallic.
Okay, yeah, it's beautiful. It's 991.2, right?
991.2 base, sport exhaust.
Oh, so
black wheel.
Okay, E, right out the box, I got to tell you that you've accomplished something that I've never been able to do. I'm looking at these black wheels. I had a car with black wheels, was never able to keep them clean. I mean, I literally would wash them, pull them out the garage, and they were dirty. So I don't know what you did, but you already got 4 thumbs up in that regards. But man, this car is absolutely stunning. So remind me, it's 370 horsepower.
370 horsepower.
333
torque.
Okay, 0 to 60 in
3.6.
Okay, so another point of uniqueness, you decide to go with the hard top sunroof.
Correct.
Yeah, it gives it a totally different look. And tell me about this right here, this spoiler. I don't think I've seen one like that.
Okay, I was trying to bring back something a little retro, and got on mosheimer.com and found a spoiler that would fit the 991.2, a tail. And had it put on, and it adds to a little, bit of the character. It gives it a little bit more.
It's totally unique here.
Yeah. As I was looking for this car, I kept on coming back to this blue.
This color stands out. I love it. Can we take a peek on the inside?
Oh, yeah.
Man, this interior is plush. It is absolutely plush. So I'm curious, when you got the car, was there like a particular feature on the inside that just made you want to have it?
I definitely wanted the sport chrono. I definitely wanted the sport exhaust, and that was on my hit list. So the color, the sport exhaust, and the chrono. I definitely wanted they come with the leather seats, and I needed some type of sun.
I think
coming into the car.
I think you really did it. I've been in many a 911, but I can count on one hand and have fingers left the times that I've been in the passenger seat. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to this. So
all right.
Now, don't blow my mind, but
we'll go easy.
Yeah, go easy.
We'll go
just take me for a little ride. Yeah, this is definitely that sports car appeal that you want to have. I tell anybody, when you look at the range of 911s, you get into a 991 and you feel like you are literally walking bare feet on the road. And what I mean is, you can feel every sensation, every contour of the road, bump, smooth, but you always feel in control. I mean, what's your experience, man?
Yeah, it's dialed in. It's very responsive. You hit a turn, you turning. You hit that gas, you throwing that head back. You doing a crunch. It's just a very responsive car.
So what's your favorite part of the drive experience? Or do you drive this car, now be honest. I mean, some people like to cruise. Do you drive or do you cruise? Which bucket do you put yourself in?
No, the first thing I would say is this is not a daily driver. It's not, for me, it's just not built for bumper to bumper traffic after work, that kind of thing, going to work. So, This is my weekend love. This is what I do on the weekend, and sporty, spirited drives.
Okay. Yeah. So what's your daily driver?
A Lexus NX 300.
You know what? I had a Lexus, and I got to tell you, one of the things about the Lexus brand, it's like they're trouble-free. You get in it, they're reliable, but it leaves something to be desired once you sit in a 911, right?
Right, it does.
Now,
but I like the balance between the two. So I I feel like during the week when I'm in my daily driver, I'm comfortable. It's like sitting in a lazy boy, kind of like what you said.
Right.
And bumper to bumper traffic, whatnot. It manages that situation. But then when I get in the 911, I enjoy the ride more.
Okay.
And vice versa. When I get out of this car,
they complement each other.
They complement each other.
Okay. So what made you, well, you know, everybody has a different story. And on our page, our tagline is basically ordinary people with extraordinary cars. And we've already designated your car to be an extraordinary car. I'm kind of curious, and for the viewers of the page, kind of curious, what was your pathway that led you to to the Porsche brand? I mean, was this your first stop, or was there something before this? What's your story?
Well, I could start in the late 1970s when my father used to take me to Hadley Park, which is one of the first African-American parks in the United States. Okay. So at this park, we see professionals, you know, African-American men and women that drove nice cars. So that was my first time seeing in person BMWs, Vets, Porsches.
Okay.
And I had a buddy, well, not a buddy, he's a friend of mine now, but he played tennis with my father, and he had a 911 model. And I just remember going out to the park and just sitting down and throwing rocks and not at his car, but looking at his car and saying, one day I'm going to get this thing. I'm going to be in a Porsche. I remember my father's first movie.
Well, hold on. Back then, as a child, you had in your mind that one day you was going to get a Porsche.
Yes.
Okay. All right, continue.
Yeah. So, you know, you see him on TV. I remember the first movie my father took me to was a Chuck Connors movie. Okay. And he was in a white 911. So, you know, model cars. Most of my model cars were 911s.
Wow.
You know, it was. So I had a love for sports cars in general, Trans Ams, Porsches, BMWs. I saw it all. But that's the genesis of my love.
One things that I've noticed just talking to different people, it's along the lines of brand loyalty, or I don't want to say fanaticism, but you know, you get people that have a history and a good experience with a Mercedes or BMW. They just don't want to get off their brand, or even especially Lexus. You mentioned you had a Lexus. Right, I know people that have had 5 or 6 different Lexuses. You know, before they get a year in, they're already thinking about what Lexus they're going to get next. So it's kind of peculiar. How did you make the jump from BMW over to Porsche? Because that's a totally different driving experience.
Yeah, nothing really special. As my boys got older and involved in sports, I decided I wanted a crossover. Okay. So I wanted the best looking crossover, and I wanted a sporty crossover. Okay. So I needed that combination. So I think I might have had an Acura MDX. I had maybe a Lexus on there, and then I had a Porsche on there, and maybe an Audi, and a Porsche won out. So that my first Porsche was a base model Macan. Okay.
And how'd that drive for you?
Well balanced. So a really good car, probably. I mean, that's number. It's hard. It's a struggle between 1 or 2 with the Macan. I love the Macan. So it's a combination. It's sporty.
Right.
It does what you want it to do with the turbocharge. It can get up, then get some speed behind it. And it does anything you want it to do. If you need to load some kids and take them to football practice.
I know some people that got in trouble that drove Macans. You know, they got in it and forgot that they were in an SUV.
Oh yeah.
They started doing sports car type things. And you know, state troopers tend to remind them that
it's easy. It's easy with that turbocharge and that all-wheel drive, man.
So you were a kid. You're playing with, you know, your Hot Wheels, and they were Porsches, 911. You get into a Macan, that's not the same silhouette as a 911. So from being a little kid in Hadley Park with your dad hanging out, seeing, you know, the Vets and the Porsches, you said you decided then one day you're going to have a Porsche. That was a long ride. It's a long time from there to being in this 911 today. A lot of patience.
Yeah, you got to be somewhat responsible. You know, as a father, obviously you can't carry two little boys to football practice in the 911, so you really have to plan out and, you know, wait on your time and make sure your money is right. But I never thought I would be in a 911 because I never thought I could fit in one.
Okay.
So I was looking at the you know, the Macans and the
right.
Panameras and that kind of thing, and joined the Porsche Club, and a couple of the brothers let me in and sit in their car, and I was like, wow, okay, I can do this.
So it was a done deal then, right?
It was a done deal at that point.
So between your Macan and the 911, you run across like any challenges or anything that made you say, man, this ain't, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know.
No, I was fully committed. You know, I talked to a couple of the guys, and you got to get your money straight first, and make sure your family's taken care of, and you know, when you want to invest in something like this, you know, so just got on the web and tried to narrow down what I wanted, fine tune, and found that color,
right?
Found the other little things that I wanted in the car, and I pulled the trigger. Because I understood, I listened to brothers tell me that, hey, you can say you want it, and then the next day it's gone.
Man, you know what? You just hit on a bunch of high points that I'm going to expand on over the weeks. But, you know, one of the things I want to do on this platform is empower people, you know, motivate people to get those dream cars. Because while, you know, the whole dream car term is relative to where you are, what your dream is. Some people just want to have an old car that they can rehab, but even that feels like out of reach. And you said some things that were like really deal breakers. You got to do things in order, and you got to do things in the appropriate timing.
That's right.
So yeah, you weren't putting any baby seats back here, but you also said you got to get your money right.
You got to have your money right.
And, you know, one of the myths that I hear people say oftentimes is, well, you know, I never have that. You know, that's a myth if you believe it. But here's the other side, which is on the other end of the spectrum. I'm going to get that because I work hard and I deserve it. But if your money ain't right, how much can you enjoy this car?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So I think would you say like one of the key takeaways would be patience? And just being responsible with your plan.
Patience and being responsive, right? Yeah.
Kind of like the 911, you step on the gas and it responds, right?
That's it.
So you got to have a plan.
Got to have that plan.
And you got to say, okay, even if this plan is not working as fast as I want it to work, I got to be patient and work the plan and just wait for those results to come.
Do your research, learn as much as you can about the car, and talk to people that know about these cars.
Right.
You know?
So have you had any concerns with ownership?
I hadn't had any concerns. You know, the Macan was really good to me for 9 years. You know, I think the combination of how I drove it and some things I did might have ended that love affair. But I mean, you know, I still got the 911, and I really like this car, man. I like the body style. And,
I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah, right.
So what's the longest that you've driven at any one time?
The longest, 8 hours? I mean, you did that,
the works.
The works?
Million Island Works.
That's more than 8 hours, right? It's about 9, maybe?
Yeah. I think we stopped to smoke some cigars along the way, maybe.
Oh yeah.
So, E, I'm enjoying this ride, but I got to ask you this. Is this a family car, or is there like one set of keys in your pocket and the spare set locked in a vault somewhere?
This is not a family car. This is Eric's toy. I'm talking in third person now. This is E. Foley's toy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we won't go any further because, you know, if somebody else sees this, we don't want any repercussions. We'll just let it ride like that. This is not a family car. So, man, I gotta tell you, I really appreciate this. I really enjoyed this ride, and it's a totally different experience riding in a passenger side. You know, you don't have that in control feeling, but it almost feels like this seat is different. Now I know it's not, but it's much more comfortable than the driver's seat. I mean, I'm cozied into this thing.
Oh, I'm driving light, man. That's all that is.
So, you drive hard? I have a hard time. Okay, I'm being honest. I have a hard time believing that you drive hard. Tell me the hardest drive you've had.
Man, I push it every now and then, just depending on the weather, the whatever. Tail of the Dragon, you push it.
Oh, hold up. Tail of the Dragon?
Tail
What?
of the Dragon.
All right.
Coming off that mountain, Mount Eagle, you push it. Oh. And like I said, it's like a sport. So sometimes you say to yourself, you know what, I'm not gonna hit my brakes for the next 15 minutes, and you kind of see what happens. One of those kind of things. But really good driving car, like I said. I mean, manageable, responsive, dialed in, everything that you want in a sports car.
So when you pull up to church, how many people do you have sinning, the sin of lust and temptation, talking about, I want that car?
Oh yeah, that's
it happens, right?
That's everywhere you go. Pull up at the gas station.
Church folks, stop sinning with lust. When this man pulls up to church, stop lusting and coveting his car. It's okay at the grocery store, at the gas station, they can do that. Yeah. not at church. Okay. But I know it's funny, and it's amazing. You just said, people say something at the gas station. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten out of the 911 and, a little kid will walk up, or somebody, an adult will say, hey, what do you do? Or
exactly, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? How did you get this? And
might turn into, where do you live?
Right. Right.
Because how did you get this?
And that's what I was hunting for. How you get it. Guys, a lot of times we get set up on what my career is, or where I am in life, and we'll let that just stifle our ambition. We want, whether it's a house, a car, this is a car show, so we talk about cars. Whatever your ambition is as far as a car goes, the first thing you got to do is know, number one, why is it my dream car? Why is this the car that I want so bad? And hint, it can't be your dream car because one of your boys got one. You ain't gonna be able to sustain everything that's involved from getting from your reality to that dream. Would you agree with that?
I agree. It's not a keep up with the Jones type
of
situation.
Right.
You gotta like this car for real.
You gotta know what you want, and once you figure out what you want, it's simple. You just work backwards to where you are and figure out what the plan is in the middle. Now, would you say that the plans that you had always added up? Like, did you make a plan to say, okay, something's missing? I got to do something. I got to stretch, or I got to do something extra, or I got to do something different to make this plan work.
Yeah, you have hiccups every, now and then, but you make it work. You have to make it work.
Right. So
you will have hiccups from time to time.
But I think it's kind of like a circular deal. You want this, you got to do this, but the hiccups come, so you got to say, okay, do I want this? Yeah, I want it. Well, I got to do this.
Right.
Next hiccup. Right. So it just keeps going. And, I shared in the previous video, I wanted the M5 so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought I'd have that car. Never. And I got to a point where I went through some life crises, and fast forward, I got in a situation where I could buy that car and was just terrified of buying the car because I had brainwashed myself into believing I'm not supposed to have the shiny things.
Mm-hmm.
Always expecting the next thing to go wrong, or how it's going to look me having this car. And I think one of the things that really inspired me about you is that not this car, but a couple of cars ago, you always carried yourself with such a high level of humility, and I mean, just so
appreciate
respectable
that,
and just easy to talk to, and all of those things. Anybody come up to you, ask you a question about your car or whatever, you're never one of those people to like, hey, get your fingerprints off. You're quick to talk to them. And I think one of the messages that we always have to share with people is that, hey, if I did it, you can too.
That's right.
But it takes a little work, and it might actually stop. Sometimes it takes a ton of work. But whatever your passion is, whatever your dream is, you got to ask yourself, is it worth the work that's going to be involved in it? And that's different for everybody.
Right.
And
it's motivation for some people too. So I run into a couple of people at the gas stations, and they just flat out said, man, it's good to see you in this car, man. One day I'm gonna get me one. You know?
Yeah, you gotta love that.
I bet.
All right, E, man, I got to thank you for coming up and just giving us a little time.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Beautiful car.
Anytime.
911 991.2. If you are in the market for just a beautiful drive experience, this is a car that you definitely got to do some research on, test drive. But listen, one of the aims at the Wastegate is to inspire, to share information and dispel myths. And so today, we really wanted to focus on a couple of things. Number one, whatever your plan is to get to your dream car or just the inspiration that you have in front of you, you got to assess what needs to be done between your reality and getting to that dream. And more times than not, once you develop that plan, you just got to sit and have patience, you know, from patience to power. That's what we're talking. Patience to power.
That's it.
So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. The Wastegate on YouTube and all other social media platforms. There's a link in the description. And to cars just like this, we have links. So thanks so much and tune in for the next episode.